Hello traders, and welcome back to another video here on the Learn to Trade channel. I'm Orlando, and today is FOMC day. We have the Federal Funds rate decision in about 90 minutes, and of course everybody is just waiting for that. That's why there's no volume in the market. So before we go any further, if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because that way you will get notified every time we go live. And if you want to get my trades and be part of the VIP team, there's a link below this video for you to be able to subscribe. Now let's go on to what to expect from the USD, right? Today we have the Federal Funds rate decision, right? And the FOMC statement. Now the FOMC statement is the thing that I'm looking for, because you know, the probabilities that we are going to be to be getting a the probabilities of a rate hike are extremely low, close to zero, right? But what I'm expecting for is some kind of a hint from the Federal Reserve in a timeline on the tapering process of this round of quantitative easing. Now that is what is going to move the market. I think that the rate staying close to zero is already priced in, and what is going to move the market if we see some hints of hawkishness in the FOMC statement later from the Fed. So heads up to that. If you don't have a news terminal, be quick to read about it, but I mean, don't trade it, because you are going to get burned if you don't have to the second news. Right, so the US dollar, right? What is the US dollar doing? I personally traded this flag breakout, which was, of course, break even for me. But if you consider what has happening over the past in the DXY, this is the US dollar currency index, of course, every time, or the past 2 times that I've traded that breakout, we have made money on the US dollar. Now, this might be due because this is FOMC week, and this was on Monday, I reckon. Let's have a look. Yeah, on the 21st, this was yesterday, actually. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, this was yesterday, and yeah, that break-even is straight. I mean, I really don't mind about that, but now what I'm looking for is that FOMC statement. If I see some kind of a hawkish hint, or some mention of future plans of tapering down, and more so if we get a timeline on that taper, the US dollar is going to rally, and I am prepared to buy into the strength at the break of today and yesterday's highs. That is my plan for a hawkish FOMC statement on monetary policy. Now, what wording, what keywords to look for, right? On that statement, inflation is the first one. Inflation. If we get some talks about inflation, the tool that central banks use to fight inflation is to hike rates. So if that FOMC statement is filled with inflation quotes, make sure to get ready to buy for that breakout of the 93.30 on the DXY. Of course, you're not going to trade the DXY, so look for a market where you can actually trade the US dollar, right? Now, coming back to that, the keywords to look for, the other keywords are, of course, rate hikes. If we get a timeline on those rate hikes, meaning that if we get a mention of possible rate hikes in January, right? Actually, let's have a look at the probabilities of a rate hike in January. Just 1.8%. For a 25 base point rate hike. Of course, that this Fed Watch tool from the CME group changes radically from meeting to meeting based on what the FOMC statement on monetary policy states. Right. Now, on the other hand, if the Fed comes out dovish in the sense that the monetary policy statement states that current monetary policy modifications, the modifications that they made for to face the coronavirus pandemic are still in play, then we are going to see the US dollar break with yesterday's lows, possibly going all the way to September 17th lows. So that'll be the play on a short on possible dovish policy statement. So the best scenario to play that out, in my opinion, would be buying into that US dollar weakness on a break of this gold flag, right? So heads up to that. Two possible scenarios. I will be live during the FOMC statements. So subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and see you in about 90 minutes.